Terry Winget here. Today I want to kind of go on a rant. The rant is the result of someone writing a blog about me, and the name of the blog was When Abuse Masquerades as Motivation. Abuse masquerades as motivation. She says, my brand of motivation is nothing but verbal and emotional abuse. Really? Abuse. She goes on to talk about how she attends a conference and she hears a speaker who uses the words, if you're fat, it's your fault. If your 30-year-old son is sleeping on your couch, then it's your fault. Talks about all the things that I say, blaming people for their own circumstances and their results. Absolutely true. I wish she had gone ahead and just named me in the article, but even when I confronted her with the fact that she had written an article about me, she wouldn't admit that it was me. And the reason it bothers me, the reason I got ticked off is because she went ahead and said that my presentation was sprinkled with F-bombs and excremental comments, which means that I guess she thought I used the F word and the S word, which would have offended her. Here's the deal. That pisses me off because I don't use those words on the stage. I use them in real life, plenty, believe me. But I don't use those words from the stage because this is my reputation out here. I will fight to protect it. So anyway, it was obvious she was talking about me and talked about all the things that I say in my speech, and that's fine. I don't care whether she agrees with me or not. I wish she'd have gotten the facts right about the kind of words I used. I don't care whether she has a totally opposite view. I often find something that somebody says and take an opposite view and talk about it. I am fine with that. The problem I have is the place that we have reached in society where we call what I do abuse. Seriously? Abuse? Here's what she said. The words that I used, talking about things being your fault and so forth, the words didn't set off her alarms. What set off her alarms was the blame, the finger pointing, the derision, and the disrespect for the human beings who applauded him, meaning me. All right, I want to get some things clear. I don't talk about how things are your fault and do what I do for a living in order to be derisive toward you. I don't do it to be disrespectful toward you. I do it because I care enough about you and because I respect you enough to tell you the truth. The truth is we create our results. I do believe in fault. I do know, I am convinced that if you are fat, it is your fault. Nobody, as Zig Ziglar used to say, nobody ever ate anything by accident. It's true. And I do believe if your 30-year-old sleeps on your couch, that's your fault. I did write a book called Your Kids Are Your Own Fault. You're broke because you want to be. Those kind of things. It's all about personal responsibility. There is such a thing called cause and effect, meaning that if you do something, you're going to create a result. Now listen, folks, I am successful. That's my fault. If you're successful, that's your fault. If I were a total failure, that would be my fault too. And if you are a failure by any standard you set up or the world sets up, well, then that's your fault. We have words, actions, and thoughts that create results. Those results are our fault regardless of what they are. Now, let's just say, as she is quick to point out how she's been the victim of various things, there are things that happen to people that are not their fault. Okay, I'm going to give that to you. I'm not a horrible person. I'm not unreasonable. I understand that somebody can run a red light and smash into you, or you could be raped, or you could be, all kinds of things could happen to you, and those things might not be your fault. However, how you respond to those things is your fault. Now, when the blog came out, I responded saying, just tell the truth about me. I didn't say those other words. And several people came to my defense, my fans. I actually found out about the blog because some fans sent it to me and said, she's talking about you. And some fans came to my defense, and that's terrific. Again, I don't care what she believes. It doesn't matter to me. Argue with me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. People write me horrible things. It's fine with me. What bothers me are the responses that came out in support of her. One of them was this. A guy said, no human being should ever be told under any circumstance that anything is their fault. Folks, it just drives me nuts. No person should ever be told that anything is their fault. Really? I think we should all be told much more often that things are our fault. We need to understand that what we say, think, and do creates a result. We must be responsible for our behavior. We have created a society because of lousy parenting. We've created employees because of lousy managers. We've created a government because of lousy politicians, because lousy voters aren't responsible enough to do their homework. We've created an entire world of people doing stupid things, and they're offended and call it abuse when somebody tells them they are responsible and it is their fault. That is the problem I have. I think all of us right now should go out and be responsible and just start telling the truth. Will people get their feelings hurt? Oh, I promise you they will get their feelings hurt. But why do we compromise our point of view? Why do we compromise common sense? Do we do it in the name of kindness? People tell me all the time, Larry, well, you could be kind. I think it's kind to be truthful. I do not go out of my way to be mean to people. But when somebody says, this is my problem, what should I do? They ask for it, I tell them. Or when I'm doing commentary like this, I don't have to hold back. I don't go up and tap people on the street, on the corner, on the shoulder and say, you're being an idiot. Unless their being an idiot affects me or someone else who cannot defend themselves. Then I'll jump in. Folks, we have just become this nation of weenies and wusses. We have. That's why I wrote the book, Grow a Pair. And we've gotten to the point that we are afraid of others and afraid of offending them. Someone is always going to be offended. Always. I promise you. Someone is always going to hate you for what you say. Jesus said we should love one another, and they killed him for it. No matter what your position is, someone's going to hate you for it. You might as well have a position based in honesty and integrity and doing the right thing no matter what. That's what I do my best to do. I suggest the same for you. Hey, thanks for listening to me. I really do appreciate it.